Welcome back to the Tired Athlete Podcast. I'm stepping in today for your host. I'm Evan Braybrand, and today we're actually sitting with your host, Lizzie Hamlett. Lizzie, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm excited for this interview.
Yeah, I am too. Last week you got to do one on me, so it's nice to return the favor.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's start off with high school. Tell me about it. Tell me about the kind of your general experience in high school. How you viewed high school.
So high school is a little bit different for me than other people because I went to a public school, but it was out of my district. And so I paid tuition to go to the school because the district was so small. They had kids pay from other counties to go into the school. And my head coach for my travel field hockey team was the head varsity coach there. My sister already went there, and all of my teammates from club went there. So I went into high school in a new city, but I had a lot of close friends already going in, and a lot of them were older than me too.
That had to help the transition be pretty smooth.
Yeah, freshman year of high school was like one of the best years of high school for sure because I had my sister and I had a lot of other upperclassmen friends, so I felt like I always had a support system. And I kind of felt like the top dog at that point. It was cool. Yeah, okay. No, serious. That's how it felt.
So you kind of like the queen bee of the school.
Yeah, because starting in the summer, I made varsity with one other freshman, and we were really good friends. So we both felt like this is so awesome, and it kind of gave us an in to the girls who were already kind of the talk of the town. The pretty girls, the older pretty girls that were popular, so
field hockey was pretty big at the school.
Yeah, definitely. And we had always had a really good team, and all of the girls in years before had been the popular girls who a lot of the girls paid tuition to go to that school, even though it was a public school. So it was really different than other schools, I think, and it would have been totally different if I had gone to my own district, because I had gone to private school my whole life, so I didn't know people at other public schools.
Mm-hmm.
So coming in that, it was also really fun to play competitive high school field hockey because it was different. I'd never played school field hockey before, so it kind of gave me a new representation. It kind of field hockey kind of carried more into my social life, where in middle school and beforehand field hockey was so separate because I had school friends and I had field hockey friends. Now I have friends that I play field hockey with and go to school with.
Would you say field hockey became more of your kind of, not so much identity, but just kind of kind of an identifier?
Yeah, totally. It's kind of turned into a personality trait because it would be, there's Lizzie, she plays field hockey, or there's there's Becca's little sister who plays field hockey. They both play field hockey. It was very known, and we were both good. So, it wasn't like I was freshman year riding the bench. It was freshman year, whoa, who's this girl who's helping us win these games?
Yeah, exactly.
So it was definitely all of my pride in myself came through my sport.
You kind of got all the good stuff early on.
Right.
All right, cool. Well, all right, so on the flip side of that, tell me how your first couple years here at Liberty have been.
So it's different because I came in and I wasn't top dog, and I didn't really plan to be. When people asked me, I would be like, no, I'm not going to start. But, I wanted to start. Every freshman wants to play when they get to college.
Yeah.
So I got here. I hadn't really done anything over the summer. I had field hockey tournaments here and there, but I have never really been big into working out. So I, didn't know how to do it at home. I was kind of just expecting to learn when I got here.
Mm-hmm.
So I get here, and I'm kind of doing well again. I'm running with the starting girls. I feel good, and I get a boyfriend who's also big into sports, and sports is kind of his identity. So I start feeling more pressure because I'm feeling pressure from him, pressure from my college coaches, pressure that I'm just feeling in my own head, being anxious. Feeling pressure from teammates that wasn't even really there, but thinking these girls are only friends with me because I'm good, and so I need to keep being good to keep these friends. And obviously I just felt pressure from family and stuff like that.
So why do you think your mentality from college to in comparison to high school changed? Because you say there's so much more pressures now in college, but why do you think that you put all this more pressure on yourself now as compared to high school?
Well, I think just because I'm playing with money to my name, trying to keep that money, trying to earn more money throughout the 4 years, it's a bigger spotlight in college. There's more pressure because your spot is so flexible. I think I just felt pressure because I like beforehand, I had never really had competition. I was good because everyone else was bad. And now I'm here, I'm only good because I'm working my ass off. So then I was trying to figure out, I was just emotionally drained because I'd never worked so hard. My body had never been pushed to that. My parents didn't really know how to support me because they never had someone go through this. They never went through this. I just didn't really look to the right people for guidance on how to get through it.
Okay.
And like, now that I'm in my third year, I feel like it's changed to where I'm like, I know why I'm working. It sucks still some days, but I feel growth and like I see growth and I want to keep improving.
That's always good.
Yeah.
That's kind of keep you going, is looking for that improvement all the time. So with that being said, what is the biggest lesson you think you've taken away from your transition? The transition from being the top queen bee in high school and having no pressure in the world to coming to college where the workload is increased significantly and the pressure's there and the games matter a little bit more. So what do you think the biggest lesson was for you?
I think it's just, most importantly, you need to surround yourself with people who are helping you and pushing you and supporting you and knowing the right ways to do that. My parents, like, I love them and they were never not there for me, but there's at a point, like, the distance isn't helping and they've never been through this. They don't really know what it's like to be a Division I athlete. And when I got stressed, I took myself away from my teammates and my coaches, so those were outlets that do help me grow and do show me the right way to think about field hockey and not making it the number one priority and making sure like I'm only playing because it makes me happy, not I'm playing because I need to keep my scholarship or I'm playing because I need to make my parents happy. And that's the biggest change, is just learning to play for fun.
Yeah, finding that inner joy of why you started playing the game in the first place. So who do you think your biggest role model would be? Growing up or even right now?
So growing up, I don't really think I had a role model. I just wanted to be good. I would see like girls around me. Like there's this girl, Colleen Norier, who played at UVA. She was 2 years above me. On my club team, I looked up to her. I just liked her style of play, stuff like that. But I didn't really look to like actual professional athletes because professional field hockey is not popular and wasn't televised until I was already grown up. So I didn't really have anyone when I was younger. And I really looked up to my coaches. They had both played Division I field hockey and I wanted to play Division I field hockey. So it was kind of just like they know what to do, so I'm looking up to them. But now I think I take other character qualities that I look up to people for. Like, I'm not really looking to, like, play a certain way or anything. Like, I have, like, teammates who work really hard, and I'm like, oh, yeah, like, I'm going to work just as hard as her today. Stuff like that. Little goals like that. Not a really big, not like Michael Jordan or anything. LeBron James.
It's a little different sport, but I see where you're going with that. All right, we got one more question for you.
Okay.
If you could go back and tell your younger self something about what they needed to know the most about coming to college and being an athlete and everything that entails between the social life, the schooling, the work, all that stuff, what would you tell your younger self?
I would tell my younger self to hit the gym a little bit earlier and don't care as much about what other people think, because playing for yourself is a lot better than playing for other people and playing for the newspapers. I
think that's two great things. I think you hit the nail on the head with both those. I think your younger self would be improved slightly. I think you're in a good spot
but
where you're at.
But I'm great anyways.
I think you're in a great spot where you're at. I think you're doing well. I appreciate you taking the time to do an interview for your own podcast.
Thank you, Evan, for volunteering.
It's very modest
to be my host.
Of course. Any final words for all the future Lizzie Hamletts out there? Besides hit the gym earlier?
Sleep if you're tired and hit the gym early.
There you go.
Good night.
You heard it.